What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Now, I'm guessing you clicked on this video because you're young like me and you want to get into your first nice car. Now, as you can see here, I currently have 6 different vehicles. Now, they're not Lambos or anything, but I like to think they're pretty nice cars for my age. Got the E92 parked up at the back here. Now, I'm only 22 years old, so I consider myself pretty young. So I'm gonna share with you guys everything I've learned about owning decently nice cars at a young age, because I've learned a lot. But before we get into that, we got some work to do on the cars. Now, if you're new to the channel, we usually start every single video by modifying a car. But today is slightly different because we're actually going to be demodifying my E92 335. And we are going to be removing the roof spoiler because I really do not like this thing for some reason. And I'm thinking we're just going to slap it on the E90 because I think it might actually look good. All right, well, we got it off. Let's go ahead and slap it on the E90. Yeah, honestly, I think that was the move. That looks way better on the E90. That being said, let's get right into the topic of the video. Before we get into that, I need everybody to hit subscribe. We're getting so close to 5,000 subscribers, which is crazy because I started this 4 months ago. Really trying to push for 10,000 by the end of the year. And I'm gonna be giving away this e-scooter and this e-bike to one of you guys. They're both brand new, never been used, valued at about $3,000 altogether. So if you like my videos and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button right now. We post all the time. We're going to go over 5 things I think you should know or at least consider before you buy your first nice car. Number 1, and if not the biggest thing, is going to be maintenance. Regardless of whether you're buying a $50,000 Mustang or a $10,000 BMW, you have to think about maintenance because you're not just buying the car, you're maintaining it and you're keeping it for a long time, hopefully. So if you go out and you buy a cheap $5,000 BMW like this one was, sound like it's a smoking deal, but there's probably stuff hidden that you don't know about. Very easily end up paying more than you paid for the car just trying to repair this thing. Trust me, I myself have been there. First car I ever bought was this 2006 E90 330i. Actually looked pretty similar to this one here. The exact same brown interior and everything. I bought that car for $7,000 when I was 19. It was my first car. I thought it was such a good deal. It was good for like 5 months. It was great. And then the problems started to roll in. Of course, I thought it was just a battery, so I went out, I spent 200 bucks and bought a new battery. Turned out to be the starter, so now I'm down 200 on the battery. I take this thing to BMW, they're charging me $1,700 just for the starter. Obviously, I pay it, and yeah, so now I'm $2,000 in on a $7,000 car. But we weren't done. Literally not even 2 weeks later, this thing started locking up in the steering wheel, going into limp mode on the highway. I couldn't believe it. Long story short, I ended up having to replace a relay or something. I don't even remember, this was so long ago. But it was about a $1,000 fix, so now I'm $3,000 in on a $7,000 car. I'm almost halfway there. Now it was all in the span of like 2 months. I had to spend $3,000 trying to fix this thing. I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting about. The moral of that story is, at least when you're looking for a car, don't just look at the price, look into maintenance, look into all that kind of stuff, because you got to remember you need to be able to afford that too. Next up is going to be your financial situation. Sounds like an obvious thing, but a lot of people don't actually think about this when they hop into a new car. Out of all 6 of my cars, the only one I have a payment on is the Mustang. $600 a month, which really doesn't affect me at all. It's not really stressful or anything. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, why would I ever spend $10, $20, $30,000 cash when I could just put $500 down and finance this thing at $1,200 a month, 30% APR? You can't do anything. You can't modify your car because this car payment is coming out your ass. Yeah, maybe you look cool for like, I don't know, 6 months, but you know, $1,200 a month is now just leaving your pocket instantly. Car is also drastically losing value. And I know this sounds completely obvious. Everyone knows this. A lot of people are just too naive to actually think about it. You know what I mean? It's a story for a lot of people. Again, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just telling you, think about what you want to do before you buy a car. Do you really want to be paying this car note every month? Or would you rather just save up a little more and own it? Sorry to sound so negative for the first 2, but the next few are definitely good. Number 3 is just the feeling you get of owning a sick car. When I was 19 years old, I was working at a dealership detailing and someone pulled a Mustang in and I got to clean it. Ever since then, I absolutely fell in love with these cars, so I'm super grateful to be able to own one. I bought it brand new in 2021 and still to this day, I absolutely love this car. Every time I drive it, there's a huge smile on my face. I look like an idiot. Something about the sound it makes, the speed it has, the looks you get, it's such a crazy feeling. I mean, this obviously isn't a Lambo or anything, but the amount of looks I get just driving down the highway is actually absurd. Makes you feel great. I mean, that is one of the biggest reasons I would get a nice car when you're young, for sure. That anyone else's opinion matters, you know, but it's still cool. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the connections that you can make with a nice car. When you own a nice car, other people who own nice cars are way more interested in talking to you. It's led me to meet some really, really great people. But I mean, yeah, it's just so cool, like the amount of people you can meet, like dealership owners, other shop owners, all those kinds of people, and just other nice car owners in general, like, you know, at car meets and stuff like that. I've actually never been to a single car meet in my life, but I'd imagine you can meet some pretty cool people there. However, you can also run into some not so cool people owning a nice car at a young age. I don't know what it's like in the US, but in Canada, we have a new drivers program, which is like, you know, you get your learner's permit when you're 16. You can't drive, but you know, you can drive with a parent. And then you get your N, or your new drivers, so you can drive alone. I currently still have the new driver's permit, and it requires you to have this N on the back, which basically just tells everyone you're a kid. So having that N on a decently nice car causes a lot of angry or maybe jealous people, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I constantly have people yelling out their windows at me, saying stuff when I'm parking, all that kind of stuff. You'll see that someone has poured coffee all over my hood while I was sleeping. I don't care personally, it doesn't bother me at all, but expect something like that. Now, adding on to that, if you choose to post your car on social media, it doesn't matter what kind of car you have. I have 6. People hate on all of them sometimes, you know, like everyone just loves to hate. And usually they don't have anything better than you, but you know, occasionally maybe they will. But the main point is, it literally doesn't matter what you have. I could have an SVJ sitting in my driveway and someone would still hate on it, saying it's about something else, and it's not good enough. So if you can't really handle hate comments, or you don't like when people are judging you, getting a nice car or any car in general really probably isn't for you. Unless all you care about is A to B, of course, then it doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying. Now, number 5 is going to be modifying your cars. Now, this is another one that sounds kind of obvious, but you got to think about it on a deeper level. It's kind of the same idea I was getting at with the maintenance earlier. When you buy the car, you're not just buying the car. If you want to modify it, you got to do research on how much mods for your specific car cost. Because I mean, for example, with the E92 or my E90, you know, these cars are so old, and the aftermarket platform is so large, and it's expanded so much over time that there's so many cheap parts that you can get for those cars. On top of that, there's parts all over Facebook because people have had them for so long. Like you can get really cheap stuff for these cars, and it's still good. But newer cars like my F30 or my 2021 Mustang, the parts for that are really, really expensive, depending on what you're doing, obviously. But for example, a supercharger kit for my Mustang is like $15,000 just for the kit. So yeah, depending on what you're getting, modifications are not for the weak. I know I keep saying somewhat obvious things, but I really just want to get it into whoever's head that needs to hear it, that you got to think about other things other than the car's cost. Because I didn't for any of it. All I thought about was, okay, the car's $7,000, that's all I'm spending. I wasn't thinking about insurance. I wasn't thinking about maintenance. I wasn't thinking about how much I wanted to spend on mods. I wasn't thinking about gas. Well, there's so many costs after buying the car that people aren't really thinking about as soon as they, you know, hop into a 5-year finance term or something. So again, I'm not telling you what to do. Don't take any financial advice from me. I'm just saying what I've learned, and you know, hopefully someone else can find some value in it as well. But with all that being said, there's lots you can do to make it cheaper. For example, buying your car in cash drastically saves money compared to financing. Doing as much maintenance and routine work yourself as you can to save shop time, big money saver right there. Sourcing your parts, you know, checking different websites before just buying a part to compare prices, saves thousands, bro. So yeah, I mean, as long as you're willing to put in some work, do your research, and just know what you're buying, then yeah, I would 110% recommend getting a nice car at a young age. Because I mean, there's other stuff you got to think about too, you know, like when you're 60 years old, you're not going to look back and be like, man, I wish I saved that few $1,000s instead of getting a sick car that I have tons of memories in. Now, that mindset definitely can be dangerous, but I mean, it's true. Like, you're never going to be thinking about how much you had in your bank account when you were 20 years old. You're going to be thinking about, man, I miss ripping with my homies and racing and stuff like that. Like, that's what I'm going to be thinking about. But with that being said, guys, I think that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. If you're looking to buy a nice car, or even just any car in general, hopefully you can pick something up from this. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment something down below to let me know you stayed till the end. That being said, peace.